Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Queen Elizabeth, A Day in Her Life. Well, recently I did a video of Queen Elizabeth and her father, so I thought it only fitting to do a video about Queen Elizabeth and her mom. Well, Queen Elizabeth's mom's name was named Elizabeth, of all things. That's unique, and I've never met anybody whose mom named them after themselves. So Queen Elizabeth's mom was 26 when she had her daughter, and it is said that she was indulgent with her, probably because she was the first child she had. And during World War II, Queen Elizabeth and her sister Margaret were separated from their parents for safety reasons. It was thought that it was best if they went to the countryside more than in the city of London, so they went there for that reason. Well, Queen Elizabeth's mom wasn't concerned about their education. According to the royal historian, Professor Kate Williams, Queen Elizabeth's mom wasn't concerned about their education. According to royal historian Professor Kate Williams, the Queen Mother was protective of her daughters and didn't want to overburden Elizabeth and Margaret with learning. The Queen Mother said about her daughters that she just wished them to have happy memories and happy marriages, Williams told Sky News. Well, the Queen and her mother grew closer after the father died. Queen Elizabeth's mom did all she could to help her daughter with her transition to the throne after her father died suddenly. And she, the Queen Mother, and Margaret helped Queen Elizabeth through their official duties in the UK and overseas. Well, the Queen's mom had a difficult time not being queen. So this part I was surprised at because I had read an article in honey.9.com that Queen Elizabeth's mom had a difficult time stepping down from being queen. And I had read before that before she had married Albert, that's Queen Elizabeth's dad, she had turned down his proposals about 3 times because she never wanted to be a queen. I guess once she got into that position, she found she liked it. And according to theguardian.com, the Queen Mother said, "I'm afraid never, never again to be free to think, speak, and act as I feel I really ought to." That was before she became the queen, but having accepted the life, she threw herself into it and carried her husband through the trauma of the 1936 abdication, which brought him to the throne. Well, the Queen Mother was in her 50s when the king died, and she had been a great influence in her position. So the royal biographer Christopher Warwick told a BBC documentary he believed at first the Queen Mother was jealous of her daughter when she was crowned. She felt she had been cut off in her prime. She loved the position of being queen, and suddenly all that was taken from her, Christopher Warwick told the BBC. Next up, we have the Queen Mother wasn't sure about Philip. The Queen Mother wasn't sure about Prince Philip when he and Elizabeth started courting. She worried that he was too progressive, and she didn't like the way he chased after Elizabeth. And Elizabeth's dad called their family Us Four, and were devastated when the Princess Elizabeth married Philip, not because they didn't like him, but because they loved the chemistry of their tight-knit family, and they didn't want anything to change, Schofield explained. Well, when Elizabeth and Philip married, the Queen Mother felt like he was taking attention away from her, and he also didn't like it when he challenged her authority. Well, the royal household also didn't trust Philip because he had strong German ties since birth, and the Queen Mother had a nickname for him. She called him the Hun. Cecil Beaton, British photographer, once described the real Queen Elizabeth, this was Elizabeth's mom, as a marshmallow made on a welding machine in reference to the Queen's contradictory personality, gentle, warm, and fun-loving, but at the same time sharp, steely, remote, and certainly not to be underestimated. Indeed, Adolf Hitler described her as the most dangerous woman in Europe. So the Queen and her mother were always close. Kinsey Schofield tells Nikki Swift that the Queen Mother was forced to move out of Buckingham Palace while Queen Elizabeth and Philip were forced to move in, which made nobody happy. And this sent the Queen Mother into sobs that embarrassed her so much. She later apologized to Queen Elizabeth, Schofield said. And Queen Elizabeth and her mom also, they shared a love of horses and horse racing, and that was handed down to Queen Elizabeth's daughter, Anne. So Queen Elizabeth talked to her mom every day, so she was so lucky to have had her mom for such a long time. Queen Elizabeth went to her mom for advice because of her wisdom, and they both had a great sense of humor. According to honey.9.com, Princess Margaret was also well known for her dry wit, and the women were known to greatly enjoy their regular alcoholic beverages. The Queen Mum was known for loving a gin and tonic well before lunchtime. For their entire lives, the Queen and Princess Margaret still call their mother Mummy. When the Queen Mother died, Queen Elizabeth stated, "I count myself fortunate that my mother was blessed with a long and a happy life. She had an infectious zest for living, and this remained with her until the very end. I know, too, that her faith was always a great strength to her." Whenever videos and pictures are shown of Queen Elizabeth and her mom, you could see the close affection between them. I know me and my mom were close, and after my dad died, my mom and I grew closer than ever. So Queen Elizabeth loved her parents so much. To lose her dad was rough for her, so after that, she really grew closer to her mother. And they were lucky to have shared so many wonderful years together. And she had loving parents that helped to mold her into the extraordinary woman she became. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed the video, and if you did, if you could give it a thumbs up, that would really be appreciated. And if you haven't subscribed yet, if you could do that, that would be great too. So I hope everybody's been having a great day, and tune in again soon to Queen Elizabeth, A Day in Her Life. Thank you. Bye.